Okay, Shalom Aleichem, Bruchim Haboim, welcome everybody to our weekly shiur. Today we are on Friday, 16 of Tamuz, Parshas Balak in Chutz La'aretz, and Parshas Pinchas in Eretz Yisrael. Okay, so in addition to that, we have Parshas Balak, gives us a lot of food for thought, and many questions and hopefully many answers, or one answer will answer everything. But also tonight is Shabbos is Shivasa B'Tamuz. Normally on the 17th of Tamuz we fast. This year we don't fast. And there's an opinion in the Gemara, once it's pushed off, it should be pushed away completely. And we're coming from Yud Beis Yud Gimel Tamuz, 12th and 13th Tamuz, where the Frierdiker Rebbe came out of jail. That was Monday and Tuesday. So let's look at it, try to see maybe what is the connection with all these three things coming together. So the first thing was I would say that I am sure that many of us have the same problem, that this parsha is a whole parsha, but Balak and Bilam want to curse the Jewish people, and comes a whole story. But it looks like that it's a big problem if they're going to curse. Well, that doesn't make sense. Why doesn't it make sense? Because the Rebbe is running the world. And if the Rebbe doesn't want to fulfill his curses, he won't fulfill his curses. So what he'll curse? It means he has power to curse. And the Rebbe, what the Rebbe wants, that's what happens. Here we make, so the general impression that that's dangerous stuff. Here. That he wants to curse, and he's a big prophet. In a certain aspect, he was similar to Moshe Rabbeinu in the level of prophecy, whatever that's supposed to mean. That also doesn't make sense, right? How could it be he was klip and that's kedusha? How could it be? So we'll see. Maybe we'll get to that also. But mamish, it's a whole big deal. To a point that the Rebbe tells him, "Nishu, don't go." It means, I don't want you to curse us, so don't go. Then when he already tells him to go, he's taking conditions. Whatever I'll tell you to do, don't do whatever you want, only what I'm telling you. Then the donkey comes on the way. The Malach stops stopping the donkey because he's not happy with that. And then again, he makes him sure that you will not say what you want. He'll say you will do whatever we tell you to do, whatever you want you to do. And then when a whole mice. Let's go to Reuven. Hashem tells him, don't curse them, but don't bless them. And Rashi says, like we say to a bee, don't lay me dufshach, lay me uktzach. Not, I don't want your honey, I don't want your sting. So that's what we tell Bilam, we don't want your blessings, we don't want the brachas. Why? Because I would say that the brachas of a goy, for a Jew, it's bad. As it says, Ben Lavan when chasing Yaakov, and Yaakov ran away from Lavan. And the Rebbe told him, don't speak to him from good to bad. So I said, why not good? Because he said, Tevosan shel Rasha, what's good by Rasha, but Tzadikim, that's bad. We'll have to explain that, why it's good for Rasha. Why if he's going to bless, okay, because wants to give us bigger blessing, give us bigger blessing, but what's the wrong? The blessings of Rasha. So the simple chat is, we don't have a relationship with somebody. Don't give me brachas, don't give me klolos, stay aside. But we're seeing here that this mamish, like something this is a serious stuff here. If Bilam is going to curse the Jewish people, that's going to looks like a big trouble. Just from a halachic point of view, just to bring an example, it says that somebody who is a gabbai tzedakah, he's in charge of a charity account. And the people who is giving the money, sometimes they're not happy with him. Sometimes there's between them people who are not happy enough that they curse the guy who's in charge of the charity account. So you should know that if he's doing his job properly, shouldn't worry that they're cursing him. The curses will turn into blessings, right? Because he's doing his job properly. And that's what's happening, that people when get upset because they are in pain. So we don't blame them. But the curses is so we see the idea that interior, the fear of curses is not. A person shouldn't curse because that's bad for the guy who's cursing, he brings that negative energy. But Again, to affect the Jewish people that we are, like the Eibishter is stopping him, and then the Malach is stopping him, and the whole thing. So we have to remember that that's a very important thing, that cannot take away from that a Jew has to be only worried, only concerned with the Eibishter, nothing else. Nothing else could be in his way. The famous story of the Baal Shem Tov, if you want to add to that, that before his father passed away, he called him over. He said, I want to tell you a few things. Love every Jew with the whole heart of yours, with the whole, and don't be afraid of anybody, only from the Eibishter. And the fear of the Eibishter is not a negative fear; it's a positive fear. You love the Eibishter, so you don't want to lose your connection with him. You don't want to disappoint him. But that's the definition of a Jew, is not afraid of anything. And here, suddenly we see that the go like they have independent. It sounds almost like Chas v'Shalom, they have independent power. They could do something wrong to us, and the Eibishter has to stop him, then make a condition, then send an angel, and again the whole time it's like a big challenge to stop him from his tzedakah. Another question is, the Rabbi tells him, I don't want you brachas, not you don't curse and don't bless. But then he gave unbelievable brachas. And Hashem made him to give the brachas, allowed him to give the brachas. So did Hashem change his mind? And he told him, Anisha, don't give them brachas also not. And I said, it doesn't say it here, but they say, but because the brachas does, from somebody that is bad, you don't want to take even a favor. Because it creates a relationship, if you want. So we know the Eibishter is the essence of goodness, and we know the Eibishter is the only one that's running the world. We have to drill it into ourselves. The Eibishter, everything that happens is happening from the Eibishter. Therefore, there's no reason to be afraid of anybody. The Baal Shem Tov was told by his father, according to one opinion, more known was he was 5 years old. According to writing we find from the Alter Rebbe, he was 3 months old already. He was talking and walking and speaking. That's when he told him, don't be afraid. And there's different stories how it manifests in his life. Things came, he said, not afraid of anything, only the Eibishter. So why is here the impression that we are afraid of Bilam? Especially Balak and Balaam together. Then if we look further, we look also something interesting, funny thing I would say. He settled his own donkey. So the Rebbe tells him, you Russia. So he said, why did he sell his own donkey? Because he was so much hate he had for the Jewish people that Mekalkel is assured that normally he would never settle his donkey. He would let his servant to settle his donkey. But here his hate was so strong that he went and did it himself. So the Rebbe tells him, Russia, what you doing? Avraham Avinu already, out of love for the Eibishter, he settled his donkey himself also when he went to the Akedah, went to Isaac to the Akedah, Yitzchak to the Akedah. So what are you trying to accomplish with you settling the donkey? What does it mean? So he settled the donkey. It's a big deal because he hates. So what the Eibishter telling him, what do you have to tell him? And where they come in Avraham Avinu settling the donkey because Avraham loved the Eibishter? But that's the opposite of him. What is the connection here? So of course, so we know that when you're over emotional about something, either out of love, right? By Yosef said also that he settled his wagon to take off, welcome his father when his father came to Mitzrayim. So we know that somebody is very emotional about something. He will do things beyond the normality, something that normally he wouldn't do. But what is the connection that who cares that he settled the donkey? So he settled the donkey. So why have to tell me that? To fill up another space in Chumash. And he did it because maybe to tell me that how much he hated Jewish people. So he hated. So what does it tell me? Therefore, he wants to curse them. Okay, we know he wants to curse them, and the Rebbe doesn't let him. But what is Negeya to know that Avraham settled his donkey because out of love for the Rebbe? Was it that help in this year? Now there's something disturbing us. That he settled his donkey out of hate. It's showing something that's it's telling us something, and we need the antidotes of Avraham to settle the donkey before himself, also out of love for the Eibishter. That's the antidote for this poison, if you want to call it, for this dangerous idea came that he settled his own donkey. Why is that something dangerous about his settling his donkey? If you'll curse, we'll have to decide and understand why that is dangerous. Why is that? Why are we afraid of that? Or are we afraid of that? The Parsha, we shouldn't be afraid of that. Then comes another interesting story. He told Bilam they built 7 altars, and Bilam tells the Eibishter, I built 7 altars myself. The forefathers of the Jewish people, again, something the forefathers are coming in the picture, they built all 3 of them together, built seven altars. And he himself built 7 altars. So what? So they built 3 of us, and you did it yourself. So what's your build altar? So what? What does it mean? And if it means something, right? Why didn't you always build more altars? Why did you build only 7? But how is that it becomes an issue in that negotiation of the idea of he's trying to curse the Jewish people, and the Rebbe is not letting him. Why is he not letting him? Who cares what he's going to say? And as I said again, by the end of the day, the biggest brachas in history came out by him. First of all, the whole the Matevi Alocha Yaakov, what we say in the beginning of davening in the morning, is from the brachas. And the whole idea of his brachas is based on one of the sources of the idea of Mashiach from Chumash. And the Rambam said that he's talking about David and Mashiach. So from not giving no brachas, no clothes, Kesselman came out the biggest brachas. That's, as we said, that's the biggest brachas but we could find, because there's the idea from Mashiach, the ultimate idea. How did that come out in this story from him? I'll ask the question, why was he meritorious to be the vehicle to give such a big brachas to the Jewish people? Initially we said, we don't want nothing from you, not from your honey, not from your sting. And by the end, it comes out that he became the vehicle that in Chumash it's written the biggest blessings, right? And the ultimate blessings of Mashiach came out from Balak. How come? But that needs to be understood also. So that means there is something here that we have to understand how to look on it. Will become out clear. We're not afraid of him. There's nothing he could do to the Jewish people. The Eibishter is running the world 100%. We are the children of the Eibishter. The Eibishter is the essence of goodness. And we're not afraid of anybody. As the father of the Baal Shem Tov told the Baal Shem Tov. We're afraid only of the Eibishter. We worry only about the Eibishter. And the Eibishter is our father, and he will protect us. Just like in physical sense, the Eibishter protected the Jewish people in the desert with clouds around them from all 6 sides. All 4 sides and up and from the top and from the bottom. And the Rebbe is protecting them from everything, while making a whole story. And then becomes a very interesting question. Why is the Parsha called Balak? Normally, we know that the name of wicked people should be rotten, should be erased, should be not mentioned. And here suddenly the whole Parsha in Torah has been such a beautiful Parsha, if you want to call it. The first half is so beautiful, but for sure the end, the brachas of the end it comes a problem where but basically it's unbelievable. A Parsha in Torah called on Balak's name, Rosha. And it's interesting to say that here would be protecting the Jewish people, but the end, Bilam managed to do a lot of damage. He's the one who gave them the advice of the Midianites, women should come to the Jewish people, and they sinned, and there was a whole plague. So from completely being not successful, not be able to curse them and nothing, suddenly by the end, unfortunately, it looks like he had a big success as far as this is concerned. Why is it in the same Parsha? At least if you want, it should be in another Parsha something. Here we're trying to show Hashem protecting us from him, from Balak and Bilam. And by the end, the end of this Parsha is the story of their success. Okay, so we have to see that we have to find a foundation here to the whole story, turn it around 180 degrees, and the whole thing has to makes sense together with that, the idea that I said that we are protected by the Eibishter and nobody has any power over us. That's the story of the Parsha. Okay, so let's start look at it like that. Bilam saying that his power is to know when Hashem is upset with the Jewish people, and that's when he could come in with the curse. In other words, his idea is to cash in on the negativity of the Jewish people, and in the time when Hashem is upset about it, then you could cash in on it. But when Hashem is upset about it, Hashem is upset is also has to be a positive thing. Hashem is upset means Hashem is thinking how to fix it. So the normal way that in history how we fix things, unfortunately, was through pain. In other words, Hashem, if we sin, there is a punishment. Punishment not only because of what you did. Punishment is to awaken us to do tshuva. So in other words, Bilam understood that his curses is not that his curses could do something. His whole idea is just to awaken, to touch the idea that the Jewish people sinned or they still have some negativity in themselves, that they're not transformed, they're not clean 100%, as we see from the later story that they sinned with the Midianite women. So he wanted to curse, means the curse to bring out that idea. So in other words, the punishment, he knew that, could be he knew that doesn't matter, that will be for the goodness of the Jewish people. Ultimately, just like every punishment is ultimately for the good, is in order to cleanse and to transform. So the whole story here is that Bilam, I would call it, in Bilam and Balak together, to make it easier, is the embodiment of the negativity in the world. As we see that he brought the morality of the whole world down, Rashi says later. When he gave the advice of the Midianite woman, they brought down the whole morality in the whole world. So they were the embodiment of negativity in the world. And that every Jew has in himself a part of it. We all have a Yetzer Hara, a goy should be kirbecha. I would call it even a Bilam and Balak should be that's in us. When we have that negativity. But that is the source of the curse of something negative happened to us. Even if it's only revealed negative, even in a deeper level, it's positive, and ultimately be transformed to positive. So here we have the embodiment of, in a body coming, the ultimate negativity coming to manifest itself. Now, the negativity, fortunately or unfortunately, is very, very powerful. Who made him so powerful? The Eibishter. Because if negativity wouldn't be so powerful, who would sin? You understand there's the Eibishter created the world, and he's the essence of goodness, and we are a chelek of him, and the Eibishter will give us only good. So why should a person go against the Eibishter? It doesn't make sense. Logically and emotionally, it shouldn't make sense. So what did the Eibishter have to do? In order we should have a free choice, in order we should have a challenge, he created a nefesh habam, it's an animal soul and a Yetzer Hara, who in a revealed way much more powerful than the positive. As the story goes about Rabbi they said to the Eibishter, the Gan Eden you put in the Kabbalah books and in heaven, and nobody could read it. And all the physical desires, physical luxuries, you put it in front of in the streets. Do the other way around. Put the Gan Eden and Gehenna in front of everybody could see it. And the taivas, the desires, the physical negative things, you put it in the books, see if somebody would sin. So the Eibishter made that emotionally a person should have a very powerful nefesh habamis. The point that's coming first, then he has free choice. But look, superficially looks even that the Yetzer Hara is much stronger. I think that's the idea what we're saying. We are afraid of Bilam, of his curses. That means the Yetzer Hara. Why? Yeah, we know it is coming from the Eibishter, but we are afraid that we're going to fail. We're going to sin, and then it comes out in a revealed way. Not one be positive, one be revealed good. And that's what the Eibush, the secret of what the Eibush is telling here now, with the idea of stopping. No, that ultimately a Jew has to expire and we could get to that, should be revealed good. Not only it should be hidden good, but even should be revealed good. And therefore it says, yes, strong as Bilam is, as we mentioned that said that he was a bigger prophet. Al come never be Israel. But Israel was not such a big prophet like Moshe Rabbeinu. But the going was, that's Bilam. So I think that represents the idea of the Yetzer Tov and Yetzer, that really the Yetzer Tov is like a very strong, but the evil inclination is in certain aspects stronger. So now the Eibush has to say, okay, but now I'm helping you. And then what means helping you? Helping you to overcome it, to stop him from bringing negativity on us, sinning, and the punishment, both things. Stop. How can I overcome my challenges? They're very hard challenges. I know they're very hard. Majority of people are failing. And that explains a little bit what the challenge is, what everybody mentioning Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu represents, he's the father of the Jewish nation. They had 7 mizbeches. In order to all the 7 emotions be permeated of a Jew of love and fear and awe and beauty and all the midas. The obvious are Avraham was Chesed, Yitzchak was Gvur, Yankov was Tiferes. So Bilam was saying, he brought 7 altars against all of them until he is much stronger, negativity is much stronger than all of them. So Hashem said, no. That Avraham Avinu was before you, he took Yitzchak and the Akedah, that's a much deeper, infinitely deeper connection with the Eibishter, with goodness, than all you think. All the negativity externally, superficially, it looks like much stronger. Yes, and it is in the superficial stronger. As I said, the Nefesh Abamis is like behemoth, a bull, an ox. An ox is stronger than a human being. The Nefesh is, but what is our Aveda? Number 1, annihilate it, right? To break him down. But that's not all that. The ultimate idea is to transform it. Nefesh Abamis. So therefore, that's what we're saying, that the good, that the challenge is the whole time, the challenge is with the others, and he mentioned that they are infinitely deeper committed, that the Jew, every Jew, not only Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu should be called Echad Bechad, Avraham Avinu in every one of us. The commitment is much bigger, is much stronger. So when he sees that Bilam is coming, the Balak and Bilam are coming, something from in him, we're trying to bring darkness, so that the Eibishter will stop him. And not only the Eibishter will stop him, ultimately stopping and annihilating him is one thing. And even when you bring out a deeper strength of your godly soul, it's still not the end. The ultimate idea is to transform the darkness into light. What means that he's giving the blessing. So why we said in the beginning, don't give the blessing. So the idea is, I would say, you don't give the blessing from where you are. I will give the blessing through you. The Rebbe will give the blessing through you. That is the transformation where he's already doesn't exist. It's not him. It's the transformation where the godliness is revealed completely. But it's not him as the bad person. From there it's coming from. Give it a little from another direction a little bit. One of the things that Bilam said, the karka called Neshes. So one of them, some many Mepharshim explain that ultimately Hashem will kill all the goyim. Mashiach will kill all the goyim. So the question is, some say no, that it won't kill all the goyim, but in psukim, in many psukim in Tanakh, it says that all the goyim will serve the Eibishter. That all humankind will serve the Eibishter one shoulder. And different psukim in Tanakh where it says that, and the Rambam brings down, there, so the whole world was full of knowledge. The involvement of the whole world would be only knowing the Eibishter. So why, as many commentators say that the Midrashim, that all the goyim will die? And this question is even bigger. Okay, the bad goyim maybe will die, but all the goyim, the Chassidim Yom goyim who are qualified to, the Rambam writes himself that they have Helam Abba, they have Gan Eden. Why should they die? In a time when everything is good, the revealed godliness, the essence of goodness of the Eibishter, why should they die? And as we said from the Psukim, they're not going to die. So it's a kind they die, you're not going to die. One place say this, die to a third of them. It doesn't make sense. So the Rebbe explains in an unbelievable way. What means they will die? That level, what they are, what the goy is till Mashiach comes. But he doesn't, he's not completely permeated with godliness. That will die a positive death, not he'll die physically. A spiritual death, he'll be transformed completely to positive. And said the whole world will serve the Eibishter. All the goyim. It'll be revealed the godliness that's in every human being, in every even non-Jew. That means his previous existence disappeared. It doesn't exist. So with the Jewish people will be the idea that they're completely one with the Eibishter. That will be revealed when Mashiach comes. But the nation will be revealed completely that they are created by the power of Hashem, but they completely revealed in them that they are created by the power of Hashem. And not only the human being will be permeated with the godliness, with the power of Hashem creating the creation that will be revealed in every human being, even non-Jews, but even in the animal world, and even in the vegetation world. Even in the inanimate world will be revealed how every grain of sand will be revealed in it, the power of God that creates it from nothing to being every second. That is the whole earth will be, it's a simple pet, the whole world will be full of knowledge of God, the human being. But the Rabbi said, yeah, means even the earth, the sand will be full of knowledge of Hashem. There'll be revealed godliness in it. And that explains it now, Bedim from the donkey, but the donkey is playing such a big thing here. The first is using the donkey and he's settling the donkey, and then donkey is stopping him, and he sees the Malach, and then he's saying that he settled the donkey because he hates, out of hate. We have to tell him that Avram Avinu settled the donkey out of love. The donkey in Hebrew, chamer meaning the word chumris, coarseness, physical, material, negativity, I would say. Not negative, but coarseness, very unrefined, very coarse. So we're saying here that the idea is all to take that even that chumris, the physical thing, there's certain things that are physical, but not so coarse. The physical is very coarse. Even that should be used to serve the Eibishter. Where we see it by Avram Avinu, he used it to go on the Akedah. And therefore, ultimately, Mashiach will become riding on a donkey. Why come on a donkey? Why don't come on a Rolls Royce or a Cadillac, whatever? Why not a donkey? So Chassidus explained, what's with the donkey? He will be riding on the chumras and the coarseness of the world through the transforming the darkness and the coarseness and the negativity of the world into positive, into godliness. That will lift up the level of the revelation of Mashiach. As we said, the whole world will be a dwelling place for the Eibishter. The Eibishter desired to have a dwelling place down here. So we're going to transform everything. So the whole Parsha, what is talking about, is the idea of transforming that your whole danger and your whole obstacles and your whole power of negativity is so powerful that he built 7 mizbeches. His 7 altars means that he's so powerful. All his emotions are permeated with that. Still doesn't come to the mizbeches, the altars that our forefathers built. And the commitment of the Jewish people to the Eibishter is infinitely higher. And therefore that explains, it said that that normally zelu mazeh, there is one, this is against the other. Whatever level of holiness you are, will be a similar level of negativity and try to challenge you. So what do? If you go higher, overcome it, nullify it. So when you go higher, the problem what happens, the negativity comes higher also, and they get opposing you. Doesn't mean in a coarser level, but in a deeper level, more refined, and it's a much bigger test now. Because now you are graduated from grade 1, and now you're ready for grade 2, so the test, the challenge is much bigger. And that's why we see with the Jewish people, that they failed so many times. How you're overcoming the challenge sometimes is through nullifying it, sometimes by failing, and then you do tshuva, and then you overcome it. You go to a higher level. But the whole purpose of the whole negativity for take you to a higher level, then the negative comes also. So when are you going to stop? No matter how much you'll go, he'll become stronger. says, whoever is bigger than his friend is Yitzre Godleman. Yitzre is. So it said the ultimate will come to the revelation of the essence of the Jew, how the Avramovin of the Jew, the Meshavin of the Jew. The essence of Yinashem is one with the Eibishter. Against that, there's no negativity. Negativity could go only in revealed levels, external levels. There's no essence. The negativity doesn't have the power of the essence of the Eibishter. It doesn't have it. Because the whole purpose they are created before the Jewish people know to elevate them into a higher level. And that explains also the idea in short, the idea of Zayin Tamuz. What is why when Mashiach will come, says that the Rambam writes that all these fasts become a yontif. Where can a yontif? It have a catastrophe. Now we build the Beis Hamikdash. We don't have the catastrophe, but why is it a yontif? It's nullified the negativity, but it's not isn't it? So you could say we could be celebrating that we got rid of the that's become a yontif on himself, because you will see the goodness in the transformation of the negativity, that your whole negativity from the beginning was in order to lift you up to a higher level. And as the Rebbe explains it about the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, that who took him out of jail? The same people who put him into jail took him out. And he didn't paralyze him, he didn't kill them. That means nullifying the negativity. They used the power that they used to put him into jail, they put him out. The idea of transforming the negativity, she used the power to redeem the Friedrich Rebbe and take him out, send him out of Russia, and then be able to spread Yiddishkeit. Once that transformation of darkness into light, be able to spread Yiddishkeit in the whole world. And it's going stronger and stronger and stronger. But that's the idea of Mashiach, not only to nullify the negativity, but darkness itself will shine. So based on that, we wish each other and all of us there should be Mashiach. Since there's no fast this Shabbos on 7 is pushed off, should be pushed off completely. Be in the Beis Hamikdash Erev Shabbos, Shabbos of Tamuz, and Mashiach with whole Klal Yisrael. Now. And Niska Zenz mit Rebbe Beguv Gashmi, Dolamatler Me'aseret Fochim, V'hu Yigoleinu. Good Shabbos and all the rest. Go to.